Winter's here. We got some inclement weather going on, and so some of us may find ourselves unable to attend our gyms. Maybe we're doing a workout at home right now with whatever dumbbells or body weight stuff we can kind of scrape together, right? And so one thing to consider is just because we don't have access to our barbell movements doesn't mean we can't practice them. And doesn't mean we can't spend some time visualizing and getting some skill practice, even though we don't have the actual physical barbell here with us to use. But our minds are strong, and if we can spend some time imagining ourselves and visualizing ourselves performing those movements, we're still able to create some motor learning and improve our technique and spend a little bit of time in a restful meditative state focusing on something that matters to us, getting those barbell lifts up. So what I'm going to do today is go through, we'll call it a guided visualization. And I'm going to go through squat, bench, and deadlift. I may even stand up and do the lifts in the air or move my body parts. However you want to do it is fine. This is just kind of what helps me when I do these visualizations. And I'm going to start us off with some breath work to get us in a parasympathetic state, aka a relaxed state. And then from there, we're going to begin the visualization process. And I will walk you through what I visualize and how I do it. And we'll have a fun time. I'm not sure how long this will take. Probably a couple of minutes. But it's a good skill to learn, and it's going to make you a better lifter. So let's kick it off. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start implementing some breath work, and I'm going to use that in the form of box breathing. And I'm going to use probably 5 to 7 seconds in, 2 seconds paused, holding my breath, and 5 to 7 plus seconds exhaling. So I'm just going to begin that right now. I'm in here in a nice comfy office chair, hands on my legs, and I'm just going to start breathing. You'll notice I'm going to go in through the nose. Hold. And then exhale through my mouth. And get every last bit of that air out when I exhale. And you'll notice how it draws my ribs down. I'm going to be inhaling again through the nose. And when I inhale through the nose, there will be a little bit of chest raise. That's why I'm really trying to still inhale into my diaphragm. I'm going to do that 2 more times, counting in my head as I do it, not trying to rush. Get all that air out. Now, after I've done these couple cycles of that box breathing, I can feel my body's pretty relaxed after that. That feels nice. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to visualize a hallway in my head. For me, it looks kind of like a hotel hallway, not creepy, just normal hallway with doors in it. And in my mind, I'm going to visualize myself walking down this hallway, and I'm going to get to a door at the end of it. And imagine that door. When I imagine that door, the wood frame is like a dark wood oaky color. The door is black. There's a gold handle. It's a L handle, not a knob. And it says some numbers on it that are my personal numbers. I'm not telling you that because that's password related, right? Picture the door how you want to picture it. Imagine yourself grabbing the handle and opening the door, and when you open that door is this dream workout gym space where it has everything you could possibly want. It looks how you want it to look. It's got all the equipment you could ever need to be successful in your training, right? So I'm picturing my dream gym, and I'm picturing myself walking into my dream gym, up to my dream mono, right? And I'm going to start squatting. So I'm picturing myself walking up to the bar. I'm grabbing the bar in my mind. I'm getting myself set under the bar. And as you're doing this, continue to breathe in your 5, 2, 5 box breathing. You don't have to get overexcited yet. That'll probably come later. Continue your box breathing as you picture yourself getting under the bar, setting the bar on your back, exactly where you want your feet to be when you go to unrack. If you walk it out, picture your walkout as well. But when I unrack, I'm picturing 800 pounds on that bar, loaded up with reds. The bar is freaking bending around my back, and it feels light as hell as I squeeze those glutes through, right? And I feel like I get the perfect pick ever. And that's what I'm trying to visualize every single time, is exactly how I want that to feel and how I want my body to look as I do that, how I want my hips to snap through, right, and use my glutes to unrack the bar, and how well I want my rib position set, ready to brace, all of that. And I unrack, and this is when I'll pop out of my box breathing, right, and I'll practice setting a brace, right, and And then as soon as I brace, just like I would in real life, I picture myself initiating my squat, right? Pushing the hip back just a bit, opening my knees up, big toe pressure through the inside edge of my foot, tension in my legs, right? And I hit that hole, and I visualize myself driving back up into that bar and snapping right through up into lockout again in a big, aggressive, dominant display. I rack that bar. This is an important piece. After I rack that bar, I visualize turning to the scoreboard and seeing 3 white lights pop up, my fist up in the air, crowd cheering, and I let my body and mind feel the accomplishment of that lift. Right? I'm in my perfect space, doing my perfect lift, and now I just got the validation that says it's a good lift. From there, I'm going to go right back to the beginning. And I'm going to do that whole thing 2 more times. Myself walking up to the platform, how I'm going to set my hands on the bar, how it's going to feel as I get underneath the bar and wedge myself in, set my feet, take my brace, squeeze my glutes, unrack, rebrace, drive back up, rack, white lights, crowd going wild, nailing the lift, right? Right back from the beginning. So this is what it'll look like in real time as I'm doing this. I'm walking up to the bar. Hands are set on the bar. setting the bar on my back while I set my feet. Digging in, getting my roots set. I go to brace. Brace, hips, unrack, rebrace. Just like that. If I'm laying down in bed, if I'm sitting in a chair, I still want to feel the down and drive, right? Even if my eyes are closed, eyes are open. Either way, it's okay to have a little bit of body movement in there as we're doing something and just practicing that firing, right? How we want that drive back up out of the hole to look and move. From there, all the way up into my lockout, racked, white lights, crowd going wild. And I can feel that. All from just visualizing that in my head. And I'm going to do the same thing for bench, right? I'm going to be sitting in my box breathing. I'm going to picture how I'm going to walk up to the pad, how I'm going to lay back on it, where I'm going to set my hands, setting my foot up on the pad, getting my arch set, boom, boom. How it's going to feel when I unrack, that breath before the descent, touch, drive, rack, white lights, fucking fist bumping, right? Going through that again, walking up to the platform, setting my butt on the bench, my last final affirmation before I lay down on the pad, getting my hands set, feet up on the pad, hips are up, pressure into my arch, one foot down, next foot down, twist, twist, locked in lats, unrack, pulling it out, it's set, big brace, receive, throw, rack, white lights, fist bump into the crowd. One more time through, I'm walking up to the platform. I see it bright as day in my head, exactly how I look in my singlet, exactly how I want to be on the platform, visualizing everything positive about my physical being and my ability to perform. My final affirmation as I sit down, roll back on the pad, set my hands, feet up on the pad, arching up, setting into my traps, one foot down, right foot down, setting the elbows and lats, great pull out of the rack, breath, stack, throw, rack, white lights, fist bump into the crowd. Then we're on to deadlift, right? You can see how this can take a little bit of time, but you're going to get into a groove of it. And it's going to feel really good and exciting to your body, right? As you picture yourself and visualize yourself hitting those lifts exactly how you want it to look, exactly how you want it to move. And then getting that affirmation from the lights and then the crowd. Get up to deadlift, we're walking up to the bar. Set my left foot, set my right foot. Let my arms hang low, get into my position, take my brace, left hook, right hook, scapular depression, driving knees forward into the wedge, half a second pause, boom. Driving through my big toes, inside edge of my feet, squeezing my glutes as I start the pull, big tall lockout. Down, white lights, fist pump. Round two, walk up to that platform. Left foot, right foot, shimmy those arms out, hinge down to the bar, take my brace, left hook, right hook, scapular depression, drive my knees forward in my wedge, wait half a second, boom! Driving with the glutes as soon as I crack that floor, big and tall. Down, right? When you're going through these, if you can insert cues that really work well for you, that's a great time to do it, right? And really work on the technique aspects of your lifts. If you have little cues and techniques that you like to use for that, use them here during your practice time, and that's another great time to practice those cues. Third time, walking up to the platform. Left foot set, right foot set, shimmy the arms, hinge down to the bar. Left hand, right hand, scapular depression. Knees drive forward, hold for half a second, boom, off the floor, standing nice and tall. Bar goes down, white lights come up, double fist pump to the crowd. That's as long as it takes. From there, I'll get back into my box breathing rhythm if I got out of it a bit. 5 in, 2-second hold, 5 out. And I'm going to imagine myself exiting my amazing fantasy gym room, right? Walking to that door, opening it, closing it, probably 2-3 more rounds of breath work after that, and then I'm done. And that's a super easy setup and way to spend 5 to 10 minutes visualizing your lifts that's going to have a very significant payoff and carry over to your ability to practice and perfect your technique over time with our barbell. So, that's what we can do on rainy days. If we can't make it into the gym, or snowy days and lost power, or whatever it is that's keeping us from our barbell, that's how we can be a little bit more proactive with our training time, right? And get that skill practice in.